Two things you might notice here is I'm doing a wheel alignment on my race car, but outside we are copping torrential weather, and it looks like it's going to be around for the whole week. But we've got a test day coming up and we want to test the car out, so it's a good opportunity to do some wet weather setup. So I thought I'd quickly go over what we do when it goes over to wet, what we change on the car, explain the cambers, casters and all that type of stuff, how it's different in dry. So stick along and I'll show you as much as I know. Now, when you think about it with the wet weather out here and how a race car is set up, when we're driving around the track in a wet weather conditions, the car is not going as quick as what it would usually do in the dry. So you're not maximising the tyre as much as possible. So one of the common things to do, you might hear in the pits, is to stand the tyre up. Now, we would run let's flip it this way so we're getting the right way. We would run a camber quite aggressive on the front end. The reason for that is when we brake, it starts to flatten out, and then we go around the corner, we're generating a lot of force onto the tyre, and technically it'll nearly stand itself up. Well, the tyre will bend itself over to stand itself up. In the wet, we're not going that quick, so if we had an aggressive camber like that, we might only be standing it up to that much in the mid-corner. We want to get as much grip as possible and stand this thing all the way up there as well. So we would start to stand the tyre up. Instead of running an aggressive camber, we would run something like that. You also see here, these are all the grooves on the tyre, and the main reason we have these as well is to help get the water and evacuate it out of the tyre. So this is the bit that's actually gripping to the road. This is the bit that's aiding the water getting out of the tyre. Another thing we'll do is adjust the toes. So instead of the wheels sitting straight forward ahead, we'll actually turn them out to help generate a bit more heat when going down the straight as well, and help us with our turn-in as well. General other things, will soften the car so it can flex and turn as much as possible, using as much grip as possible. By loosening off these sway bars. We'll also do it with the rear end. If it's got a rear end sway bar, we'll soften it. In a panhard, we'll put it all the way down as well. Now, there's many different things to go over, especially changing from a dry setup to a wet setup, but they're kind of the basics on what you want to do. You might see in the pits that guys are just changing their setups every single time they go out onto the track. That's similar to what we do. Every time we come in, the track changes. We've got to set up the car to suit. So hope that helps with a little bit of explanation. And got any more questions, just post them here in the comments and I'll be sure to get to them as soon as possible.